Welcome everyone to this updated tutorial on how to display a video inside Unreal Engine. Now this is for people using Unreal Engine 4.13 and up. If you have 4.11 or 12, I'm gonna have to refer you to my previous tutorial on the subject. Now this time we're gonna use two different videos, the classic wildlife and another one, just a Dark Soul that I recorded earlier. So both of them are gonna be MP4. For some reason I had some problem using WMV. And I'm gonna have separate files for the audio. So now you can go inside your content folder of your project and create a movies document. Go inside it and transfer your files inside of it. Now, back in your engine, what you want to do is to create a folder. For my part, it's going to be named cutscenes. And what we're going to do is actually to import them from the movie folder. But before that, I'm just going to do two more documents. One for the audio and the other one for the media files. So after creating both of these, I'm just going to open audio, put my two audio inside. Here we go. And then my media file and the two other ones. Now this is going to be, it's not going to be a media player like we used to have inside of a, yeah, it's not going to be a media file like we used to have in 4.12, for example. It's going to be these things. So just open them up and check pre-cache file. Okay, so we're going to need a couple of things. First of all, go under media and create a media playlist. This is going to be kind of our library, so I'm just going to name it Cutscene Library. Once that is created, just open it up. And what you want to do is to actually import both your videos inside of it. So you can select them right here. So just put both of them there. And you're going to have to remember the order in which you put them later on for the audio. So just remember 1 for Wild and 0 for the Dark Soul. Okay, next thing we're going to need a... under media again, a media player. And we're not going to use the audio because I had some problems using it. You can try it and it actually works, but I had some problems using it, so I'm just going to do the video part and the audio separately. So check in video, name that thing like you want. I'm going to name it Cutscene Media or Player. Then open it up. And if you try to open something, just going to show with the music playing, everything's going to be fine. So just check in loop right here, and that's gonna be it for now. Okay, now we actually need the widget to display our video. So create the widget. I'm gonna name it cutscene, just like that, and I'm gonna open it. Now under the designer, we're gonna need three things. We're gonna need first of all an image, which is going to be actually our video later on. So just create an image, scale it for it to show in the entire screen. Don't forget to we're gonna create a binding. We're not gonna change it for now, but that's gonna be our place where we're going to define which video is gonna be shown. So we're gonna do that later on. Next thing, you want to drag another image, and this one we're gonna change it under the color and opacity. We're gonna make it black, and this one again you can just scale it to fit the entire screen. And we're gonna make the alpha to 0, so it's not gonna be shown at first. Just like that. We're gonna change the Z order of the first one because we want the video to always be on top of our black math. You're gonna see later on why. The last part is gonna be a text, just something like enter to skip, or your input that you want the people to be able to skip with. So just write it like that. Oh, forgot to do something. For the video, you're gonna make the alpha as well at 0 for now. We're gonna change it later on inside the script. So just scale your enter to skip, place it wherever you want. Make it mine to the bottom right corner, just like that. And for now, we're gonna be good for this part. Okay, next on, we're gonna go to the graph. We don't need any of these, so just delete them. Okay, what we actually need is we're gonna start by creating a custom event. We're gonna name it something like play or play custom cutscene, sorry. I'm gonna name it play cutscene, and we want to have an input, which is going to be an index. So just an integer and a cutscene index for a name or something like that. Perfect. Then what we want is to actually create variables. We're gonna need a couple of them. We're gonna need a media player, of course. So just go into variable type, media player, and it's a reference. What we need to do also is to change the default value for our media player that we created earlier. Perfect. The second part is going to be our audio, so sound, and we're going to need to use the sound wave. Reference again. Perfect. And this thing is actually going to be an array. You're going to see later why. So for our media player, drag it out, get it. And what we want to do is actually to open a playlist with an index. So the playlist is going to be our library that we created earlier, and we're going to drag out our index into the index. Just like that. That's going to open basically our playlist. And because of the index, we're going to open the right video. After that, we want to rewind the video because it's going to be looping in the background. So basically, we want it to start at the beginning, not in the middle, of course. And we want to play it. That's perfect. Next thing, we're going to need our audio. So basically, we're going to have two different libraries. If you want to do the audio and video part in the media player, you can do that. But like I said, I had some problems, so I'm just going to do it separately. So I'm going to create, inside my array, I'm going to drag my, my two audio, and I'm going to get with the index the right one to use. So again, it's important to follow the same index. So 0, 0 for the Dark Souls one, and 1, 1 for the wildlife. Or you're gonna have the wrong music for the video. Then you want to create a sound 2D, and that's what we're gonna use to start our music and to stop it later on. So just play for now. That looks pretty good. Okay, we're gonna go back to our video, and we're gonna go to our function, and this is going to be the thing that defines basically the texture that we're gonna show. So under the value image right here, we're gonna drag out our media player, we're gonna get our video texture, and we're gonna plug it in. As simple as that. So back here, this is going to be, the video is going to be shown later on. The alpha is still at 0 for now, so it's not going to be shown, but we're going to change it later. Okay, following step is going to be to drag out our media player again and to assign an onRage event. So just type in onEnd, and we're going to drag that out. Oh, again, we have to set the game to pause, so just drag it out, set to pause, and then plug it in the onEnd reach. So this is going to be our event, so if the player is going to let the entire thing roll, at the end it's going to have to disappear. But we're also going to make a custom event called end that's going to allow the player to skip the cutscene after a certain amount of time. So both of them are going to plug in our end node, basically. So first thing to do is to pause the video player, or it's going to consume some resources for nothing. So just pause it, and then we're going to drag out from our sound 2D, and we're going to stop it, plug it in. Then what we want to do is to unpause the game, of course. And finally, we want to remove the widget from parent. So this is basically going to stop the music, stop the video, and remove everything from the screen and resume the game. So that's going to be it for our end node. Okay, so what we want to do is to actually have some kind of fade in to our video. So what we want to do is to have a delay. I'm going to put it to 1.5. You can change it. You can make it smaller if you want, but for me it's going to be 1.5. So what we want to do is to have a delay of 1.5 seconds, and after the delay we want to take our image, which has our video on it, and to set the opacity to 1. Because right now it's 0, so it's transparent. So by setting it to 1, it's actually going to show on screen. So basically, when the video is going to start, it's going to take 1.5 seconds before the video actually begins. And we're going to have some fade in to have some kind of transition between our game and our video. So that's what we're going to do. So we're going to need a tick event. And actually, we're going to have to... our second image, which is right now at 0 alpha, we're gonna have to change the opacity of it. So basically we're gonna start at 0 and we're gonna set the opacity each time the event tick goes. So we're gonna drag that out and get the color and opacity, split the structure pin. Yep, and we're gonna add the color and opacity to the delta time. So basically a float plus float. I'm just gonna move that right here and plug these in just like that. So basically this is going to take around 1 second for the black mat to show up. So it's going to give us a smooth transition between the two. And because of our Z value that we changed earlier, when our delay is going to end, basically we're going to have our video show up on top of the black mat. So it's only going to be there for 1.5 seconds. So we're going to need a value which is time in the cutscene. So we're going to change it to a float. And this is basically to calculate how much time you've been inside the video. So for me, I want to be able to skip the cutscene after 4 seconds, for example. So I'm gonna add the time in each tick and set it just like that. And after setting the time, I'm gonna have a branch, or if you will. And our condition is gonna be two things. Basically, the first one is gonna be if our float is no, that one is going to be bigger than 4 seconds, and the second one is going to be if the player is clicking on enter, or your key that you want the player to click to skip the cutscene. So we're going to use a get player controller, get input key down, or is input key down, sorry. Change this to enter for me. Gonna plug that in. So basically, if the player clicks enter after 4 seconds, it's gonna give us a true, and we're gonna call end with that one, which is our custom event that we created earlier. So basically, after 4 seconds, if the player has the enter key down, it's gonna skip the cutscene. For our enter to skip, we want that to show only when the player is actually able to skip, right? So what we want to do is to change the visibility to invisible and create a binding. So we're gonna have a branch again. And we're gonna have two results. If it's true, it's gonna show, and if it's false, it's not gonna show. So what we want to do is to drag our time in, and we want to check if it's been more than 4 seconds again. And basically, if it's true, then it is visible, and if it's false, it's gonna be hidden. So that's gonna be good. Yeah, we're almost done. I think. Okay, the last part's gonna be actually for our player character, so our the character the player's gonna use. For me, I'm gonna trigger the event just by a simple key press, so I'm gonna do two. I'm gonna have for L, I'm gonna create the widget. I'm just gonna select the cutscene one, add to viewport, and of course the starting. So play cutscene. One that I created earlier, and the index for this one's going to be 0, so that's going to be our Dark Soul. And I'm going to make a second one just to show you guys that you can do multiple ones, which is going to be for example P, and I'm going to duplicate those right here, and I'm going to change the index for 1, sorry, and that should do it. I'm going to try that. And there we go. We got audio, we got enter skip after about 4 seconds, and it's going to be 4 seconds from the moment that you click the button. So you might want to change it if you want the player to be there for a bit longer. And when the video ends, it's going to disappear by itself. And if I actually start the other one, after 4 seconds, you're going to enter to skip, and if I click it, it's going to end the video right there. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching, and if you guys need any help, just leave it in the comment. And if you guys have other ideas for a tutorial I could do, again, just leave it in the comment, and I'll be happy to try to help you guys. So thank you.